This photo op is probably being used in the Arab world as some kind of propaganda piece.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight, and we're talking to Roger Stone. You can find him at stonecoldtruth.com. I want to talk to Roger about his tweet regarding the trip to Saudi Arabia of Donald Trump this last weekend. Of course, Roger, you tweeted out, looking at these visuals, looking at these photo ops, it makes me want to puke. I think he was very poorly served by his advisors. To me, it looked like another one of these photo ops like we saw with Michael Dukakis and the tank, to have Donald Trump and Rex Tillerson and Wilbur Ross, in a conga line with these Saudis who are waving swords and so forth. I think that was a very, very bad photo op, as well as the award and the bending down, the curtsying, bowing, whatever you want to call it. I think that was a very ill-conceived idea. As a matter of fact, I think it's a bad idea to go to Saudi Arabia and give them $400 billion worth of arms at a discounted price as well. But your comments, what do you think about those issues?
Well, David, I agree with you. I hated the atmospherics of that photo, and I wonder what the White House communications people are doing. They are not serving the president well. Frankly, I love the idea of a strong American president calling out Islamic terrorism in his speech with the Saudis sitting there. But I would remind you that President Trump is well aware of the fact that the Saudis financed the attack on America on 9/11, that the U.S. Congress has passed legislation overwhelmingly allowing the families of the 9/11 victims to sue Saudi, and the president has vetoed that. The Saudis are trying to evade their responsibilities. I would hope the president would have that on his agenda.
When you say the president vetoed that, you mean Obama vetoed it. Trump hasn't done anything. Yeah.
Vetoed it. And as I recall, the president supports it. So immediately, I got an email from Reuters asking me whether I was breaking with the president. No, I'm not breaking with the president. I support Donald Trump 100%. I think he will be a transformational and truly great president. But I am worried about the quislings around him, the Dina Habib Powells, the Sean Spicers, the Reince Priebus's, the McMasters, the Mattises, who I really think are, in fact, globalists. They would have fit better in a Jeb Bush administration rather than a Trump administration. I want to see the president surrounded by Trump loyalists. No, I'm not looking for a job, nor is there any circumstance in which I would go back into government. I did that under President Nixon. That was fine, thank you. But I want to see some tougher, younger Trump loyalists around the president. The other thing I have to say, David, is a 9-day foreign trip is too long.
Yeah.
It's too excessive. That's too much wear and tear on a younger man, never mind a president who's 70 years old.
And also to be able to do the advanced preparation at all these different locations that stretches the staffing too thin in order for them to do it right. And I think one of the things that we're seeing here is that as they join this conga line and very awkwardly dancing around holding swords, I think that's Exhibit A, and the fact that they didn't do good preparation before they took this trip to allow that kind of thing to happen, to think about what's going to happen at each one of these venues.
Well, and let's just say Wilbur Ross is no Fred Astaire. I mean, that was pretty apparent. I mean, that video was embarrassing. Former President Nixon once said to me, when it came to running for office, he said, "I don't wear funny hats and I don't dance."
Yes, exactly.
I think those are good rules. Then, of course, I went online and I found a bunch of pictures of him wearing funny hats. But I could find no pictures of him dancing other than dancing with his daughter at her White House wedding. And I think an exception could be made for that.
Yeah, exactly. You have your people who are going to be in charge of your image, and you make sure that they don't have, that they're not allowed to set up some kind of an awkward photo op, which, quite frankly, is to the advantage of the Saudis to show him bending over and accepting an award and so forth. So that's something that they arrange, but your side should have the intelligence to say, no, that's something that is not going to look good, or that's something that's going to make our man feel or look very awkward, which is exactly what happened with all of those people who were doing that.
Well, look, the president is very tall. I think people may not realize how tall he is, and the Saudi giving him this civilian award was rather short. So he's leaning forward. He did not bow to the Saudis when he was introduced to them, unlike Barack Obama. So this photo op is probably being used in the Arab world as some kind of propaganda piece. I don't blame the president. I blame his handlers for putting him in this position.
Exactly. That's the key.